not my buddy.
Welcome to Surface Noise, the A side.
Wow. Cool as the other side of the pillow. Can't believe it. So I got to lead off with the animal in the room, and that we are broadcasting one on a different night because we didn't want to take away from the kids tomorrow on Halloween. We know we get a lot of children to watch this show. I just know it. I look at the algorithm and the demographics and the statistics, and it's so many children. So we didn't want to mess that up. So we're on a different night. And then, too, we got the World Series going, so I'm literally, you may see my eyes dart up because I'm in my office and I'm watching the game kind of out of my eye because, believe it or not, Dodgers fan. I know I grew up in St. Louis, and I'm a Cardinals fan. I feel I live by this thing that you get two teams. You get your hometown team, and then you get your boyhood team. And for a minute, when I was coming up, the Cardinals were hot garbage. It was a brewery. Kind of quit investing in the team. Anheuser-Busch used to own the Cardinals. Spoiler alert, people didn't know that. And so late 80s, I kind of quit giving a shit. And so the team was terrible, and the Dodgers just happened to be good. So I watched like Kirk Gibson 88, home run off Eckersley. I watched it live as a Ute. Exciting. So anyway. So there's a lot going on. I see the gallery is filling up. I'm excited. Thank you for coming over to Surface Noise. Oh, yeah, this is Surface Noise, in case you didn't know. This is our now weekly podcast, live stream, brouhaha. You don't know, now you know. Concert Buddy, Concert Bland Buddy. I have many names.
You said it.
I've got so many names. I've got more names than dollars. I mean, what can I say? But, shout out to the Bleach Boys. I want to hit my glass of bleach that they can just chug down. Tip. Throw it down, Bleach Boys. You know who you are. You're watching right now. Appreciate you.
Fucking Bleach Boys.
The Bleach Boys. Yeah, not the Beach Boys. The Bleach Boys. They got that Clorox. They got that Clorox taste. Anyway, let's get into it. You know these faces, and if you don't know, you're about to know. Familiar faces of Surface Noise first. The Empire State. 90% of the time, he's the first one to report to duty backstage. Arnaldo, the channel, if you don't know, is Fidelios_frequency. Arnaldo, good day, sir.
Good day. Tonight I am Nathan Adler.
Okay.
I don't know who knows who that is, but we'll reveal.
Can you educate us? Because there's probably.
We will reveal it later.
Oof. Oh, tease. That is what we call on broadcast.
Okay, this is when it doesn't work.
A tease.
Right, it didn't work this time.
Beautiful.
Hey, guys,
beautiful.
Thanks for having me.
Count on it. And then, oddly enough, big baseball fan. If you've been watching this show, you probably already know. Jose Moreno Ron, he's a Mets fan sometimes, right? Or at least you have a Mets.
No, I have a Mets and a Boston Red Sox.
And a Boston Red Sox. He's got a Boston Red. Now, why are you wearing a Boston Red Sox hat? I'm just curious. Here, Alec. Here he goes.
Look at this Mariners card that I have here.
This is a Colectco. We're not going to be selling baseball cards, Jose. If you're trying to unload your cards, we're going to have to take that somewhere.
Do you think?
Jose, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Doing good. Just here, I guess. Thanks for having me here.
Always.
On a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday, yeah, I know. First of all, was that hard to remember? Jose, I was trying to
You know what? I actually logged in an hour ago, and I hadn't even eaten, and then I saw that it was the old time, yeah. And I went to eat. With my wife, and then I came back. So.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about the timing and future shows a little bit later, but yes, the old time, as Jose said. So 8 Central, 9 Eastern Standard Time, and then rounding out the dais is some call him the Space Cowboy, some call him the Gangster of Love. Jason Rojas, hello.
Thanks for having me back on, Concert Buddy. I don't know if everyone remembers this record. This caused a lot of controversy, so.
Can you read it? We do have some visual impaired.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm holding up Secret Treaties by Blue Oyster Cult. I think there was like this record versus what was the other record? Black Sabbath, maybe, that came out in '74. I think. I think Ian had a he had like which album was better, and this caused some controversy.
Oh yeah, I do recall that. I mean, the 8 people who were watching that stream probably remember it better than I do.
Correct.
It was a controversial moment, but we try to stay away from controversy here. There's other places for that. We try to keep it above the board. Jose, you're going to say?
No, I didn't say.
Oh, okay, all right. So I was trying to jump ahead. Well, let's see who has joined us in the gallery before we get started. Travis Foley, hello, sir. Enjoyed a wonderful concert, the Black Crowes with Travis. Travis tried to get his backstage passes. I won't tell you how that went down or what he was offering to do, but Travis, good to see you, sir.
Did they play the Shrek song?
No, they didn't play the right song. Sorry.
That's their hit. That's the only hit they have, I think.
Oh no. Maybe we'll talk about that in the freestyle. Pat's Radio, hello. Nick, Rock and Roll Fantasy. See what I did there? Because you know that song with a foreigner, Rock and Roll Fantasy. Yeah, probably before your time, Jose. But
I was not even a thought.
You weren't even in the bottom of the sacule of Papa Moreno Ron at that point.
I was still swimming in some fish in the bay.
That's probably true.
Still fish in the bay.
We got Eddie Perez, Eddie's Physical
Eddie.
Media Talk. Hello, Eddie. Good to see you. And if I don't say hi to you, it doesn't mean I didn't see you. But we got business. We got business to do. So, if you saw the thumbnail, I'm doing this thing, and this could be a disaster. The Bleach Boys will probably love this segment, but this could be a disaster. And we're going to call this Vinyl Trick or Treat. You ready? Vinyl Trick or Treat. High budget. We got a big budget around here. So, Vinyl Trick or Treat. And it's a very, very simple thing. I'm trying to step my game up because Spin's Vinyl on the B side. We alternate weeks. It's been a hard concept for some people to understand that we do the show every week, but him and I, we take turns, kind of mix it up, get a little energy. Some people who are just, we call them the window lickers. They just don't understand the concept. But for those who get it, they get it. And so he's been doing a lot of really fun stuff, just the tip, and he's doing all these very interactive segments. So I'm trying. So we're going to see how this goes. So Vinyl Trick or Treat. So I've got some topics in the record community, record vinyl collecting community that I'm going to bring up, and I'm actually going to try this poll thing because I'm going to make this interactive. I don't know how this is going to go, so I'm going to ask for mercy as we try this new segment, because if we're going to do a lot, yes, no. So, and I don't even know where to start because I could have so much fun with this. But the first Vinyl Trick or Treat. And Arnold, I'm going to go to you because I know you've got something to say on this one. Vinyl reissue / curation or subscription businesses. Trick or treat? What say you?
I heard the word subscription, so
take it wherever you want to go.
Well, who is it that has Rough Trade has a subscription service? It's called Record of the Month or something like that. Then can you believe Amazon also has a curation type of a monthly thing?
No.
So yes, and we won't mention the one that we should mention. So I'm going to say Trick.
You're going to say Trick. Okay. All right. Well, what does our poll say? So the poll is moving. And so I'm looking at the poll right now as Arnaldo is this anxious. Let me get off of this. So the poll, I'm going to end the poll. Maybe we'll go a little bit slower in this, but thank you for voting. We got a whopping 8 votes. 8 votes.
Calm down.
It was 75% said no. It is not a trick. Hang on, maybe I'm not doing this right. All right.
You need to switch the poll Trick or Treat, right? Trick.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's probably a better idea. Yeah. Again, this is oh yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah. All right. Hey, listen. Building the plane as we fly it. So let's try next. All right, Jose.
Yeah.
Moreno, Ron. Big David Wright fan. I've got one for you. So vinyl trick or treat picture discs. Vinyl trick or treat. Do you think this is a trick or a treat?
Picture this.
Yes, picture discs.
Are there 80s picture disc or like current Disney movies?
Just in general. Just in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you think it's trick or treat?
it's a trick for sure.
It's a trick. And why do you think it's a trick? I mean, you just don't like artwork, or what?
They look nice actually. That's why I was saying like you know when I used to be young and I remember seeing like Iron Maiden picture this. I was like, this looks nice, looks interesting,
Mhm.
but they all sound like absolute garbage. So fuck them and the horse they rode in.
Wow. I mean, you're not even home back, Jose. You just
See,
hang
there
on.
was,
Like this one, Jose.
Oh no.
All right, yeah, there you go.
It's
Is
the
that
die cut.
But is that new or is it like back then?
Yeah, it's going to be coming out. So it's a zoetrope. So you mentioned Iron Maiden. I happen to have it here.
Wow.
There you go.
The back
So Spins Vinyl coming in from the nether region says he considers them a treat until you play them. I think that's
side.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like if you collect, I think like people that collect memorabilia, like for example Disney people, there's a lot of like picture this. That's fine, I guess.
but that's not how you roll. That's not how Jose rocks. Do you have any picture discs, Jose? You surely have to have picture discs.
I have one. It's a Snoopy soundtrack. But,
If anyone's interested in any of Jose's baseball cards that he's showing up, he's got Max Suzuki. Everyone remembers Max Suzuki. Again,
Kansas
Jose, where do you
City.
even find these? I mean, are
Kansas
these
City.
counterfeit? Wow.
He plays in the Kansas City.
So just leave a number. Jose will sell you these cards. All right, so we're ending the poll. Picture discs. 85% of the gallery thought they were a trick. I guess that means it's an unfavorable situation. Chuck T is speaking for so. Chuck T.
I bet AJK collects them though.
Chuck T says, F word the picture disc. Look at this. This is wonderful.
F word. What is that shit?
I mean, this is again. He knows the children watch it. This is a children's program. Children's program. All right. So I think we're starting to get the hang of it. I want to shout out to Sean. Sean, I think next year the power rankings of nicest people in the vinyl community come out. I think you may be on it because I think you get along with everybody. Everywhere I see you, everyone likes you, and that's a good way to be. You don't want to be like Concert Buddy and be hate boner material, bulletin board material. So yeah, Jason's kind of got me beat. Jason's actually the king of bulletin board mountain, but I'm on the sub cliffs, the sub tiers of that. But Sean's always a nice guy. I always appreciate interacting with him.
I only have one hater on this show, so shout out to Peter Parker. Shout out. All right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Jose's got everyone's got fans. I don't know if you have any big fans, but now this is not true. Speaking of, Peter Mad Vinyl NYC says Chance looks baked like Spicoli. Well, who knows? Now Easy Now been killing me. Easy Now says this is riveting television. So Easy Now. I don't know what else to say, but don't let the Lord hit you where the good Lord split you. Take a hike if you need to. We got other segments. I'll see you in a bit. Now, Jason, I think you get how this terrible segment is going, but we're going to try it again. We're going to try the dumpster fire because we got to go around at least once or twice. We got to fill some time before we have a guest coming on a little bit. So, Jason, I'll make you big because the question at hand, I'm going to give you a good one. Vinyl, trick or treat? Are you ready? Rhino Rocktober reissues. Jason, vinyl trick or treat?
I knew you were going to ask me. You were going to give me this. So I'm going to ask you to give me like 5 seconds while I get this one.
All right, yeah, we need props. Hang on. Speaking of props, we've got some more wonderful sound clips. Oh, man.
Okay, I'm back. Here it is. Okay, here we are.
All right, so what are you holding, Jason? Tell us about it.
This is the
It's already got a for sale
Pilots.
sign. Oh, my God.
This is Stone Temple Pilots number 4, Rock October. Okay. Look at this, 25 years, celebrating 25 years of this record at 10% off. Thankfully, thank the record gods, because
sure.
this thing sounds like poop. So it's a trick. Like, this is just, should I show the vinyl too?
Yeah, I mean, please give
Oh
it.
my
Listen,
gosh.
we're a full service operation out here. Hang on a second. I even got that wonderful music. If I just hit it right here. Hang on, you ready?
All right, here we are. This is it. This is that, whatever this is.
I mean, how would you describe that to a colorblind person?
Sure. This is some sort of like splatter vinyl in a way, but streaks on it. So it's in black and white. It's got that star in the middle. This could go in the trash, honestly.
Wow.
This is atrocious. Wow. It's garbage.
Wow.
I've never heard. I mean, I've heard some KG records before, Kevin Gray records, but this takes the cake with all the compression,
Does it make you want to wish you had picked up the Vinyl Me Please version?
I heard that actually this comes from the Vinyl Me Please plates.
No, really?
Yeah.
Dumpster.
Oh my gosh. For only $26.99.
10% off.
Giving it away.
Off. Oh.
Yeah. So I don't
All right,
know.
so Arnaldo, we're coming back to you, and I think we've got somebody who has taken a guess. So this is Mark Projekt Gemineye says, I'm guessing Nathan Adler is a reference to David Bowie, One Outside. Oh my gosh. So Arnaldo, that's right. 2 thumbs up.
Sure, yes, 2 thumbs up. Yes.
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Nice roll. Oh my God, we got all. Look at this. This budget is just out of control. Unbelievable. All right, so Arnaldo, we've got. Hang on, I want to get to my man Brian in Fort Worth. Brian is a good guy. Says Boo Traders vinyl visits. That's Brian. I've only bought one picture disc in my life. It was a few years ago, and it was Deal Holy Diver. I took it back and got my money back. All those years of wandering were true. It sucked sound-wise. I think that's probably a common sense. Oh, now Jose has left us. Jose, arrivederci. The segment was so terrible, Jose just said.
Jose was like trick or treat.
Yeah, he gave us the trick or treat. he gave us the trick or treat. Unbelievable. All right, Arnaldo. Well, maybe Jose will return. We'll see. I'm not sure if that'll work, but let's go for round two. Round 2 of vinyl trick or treat. Arnaldo, I'm gonna make you big.
I am going to say both because it is a treat for collectors.
Hang on, I didn't even announce the new one.
Wait, I didn't get to do the trick or treat on the picture disc.
Oh, do you want to do it that way? See, we're again. Okay, all right. So yeah, Arnaldo. Okay, that's a good way to do it.
All right, it's only one per person. I thought you went around. Chance.
No. Okay, yeah, that's probably a better idea. All right. So, what do you think about picture disc, Arnaldo? Good call.
It's a treat for collectors, for people who like a specific artist that just like to collect the picture disc.
Mm-hmm.
It's a treat. That's a treat. A trick is for people who think it's going to sound good. It's the trick.
Would you say buyer beware? Is buyer beware?
Well, always. Yeah. When I go into, because I have pretty much all of the David Bowie picture discs that have been reissued.
Sure.
For me, because I love David Bowie, that for me, I look at the collectability. I don't even open them because they're only to collect, not to listen to.
Fair enough. Sean, I think you're speaking for so many. We're wondering what happened to Jose. Says Jose is lost in the atmospheric fog in the background. Well, that's possible. He may have wandered to what they call that on Stranger Things, the upside down. I think Nakara WD says picture discs should be relegated to wall art for display. Not a terrible idea. A terrible idea. All right, let's do one more round, and then we'll have our special guest up who's in the backstage. So special guest, hold tight for just a scotch. Let's do one more round of this earth-shattering segment called Vinyl Trick or Treat. Arnaldo. Oh yeah, Arnaldo. What do you think about the Rocktober? Let's get your takes since those.
Oh, the Rocktober.
Yeah, are you a fan? You buying, selling? What do you think?
I think I only have one that is actually the Jane's Addiction one, which actually sounds very good.
Oh.
The Ritual de lo Habitual. Right? It was actually a all analog cut. So
You got a lot. You got a lot.
highly recommended by Mike at the End Groove.
Thank you for making it all analog, everyone. Thank you. Uh-oh.
I think that's the only Rocktober I have.
Lovely. All right. Well,
I was thinking about getting the War because I have the gold one.
the Record Store Day one.
Yes, it sounds a little crunchy at times.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I forgot what color it's on. Is it on blue?
No, you got me.
I don't remember. Yeah, they were saying it sounds better than that one because they want you to buy it.
All right, so let's do another round of this horrible segment called Vinyl Trick or Treat. Arnaldo, we'll start with you, and Jason, I'll get your feedback on this too. I think that's the way to do this if we ever bring this back from the dead for the Halloween craptacular. Arnaldo, and I'll do another poll on this one. We'll try this again. I just ran into this one recently. Arnaldo, vinyl trick or treat, your thoughts on autographed vinyl for sale at concert merch booths. Where do you land on this one? Is that a vinyl trick or a vinyl treat?
I'm going to call that a treat.
And give us more context. Are you always buying those autographed, even if you already have it?
No. If I already have it, no.
Okay.
But I'll give you one thing where it's actually a trick. A few years ago when I went to see Morrissey,
Mm-hmm.
he had his autograph on records that weren't his. So he had a copy of Aladdin Sane for sale for $200.
He's signing a Tribe Called Quest. Is that what he's doing?
No, he signed a David Bowie Aladdin Sane. And I'm like, how does that work?
That's a special treat. That's a special treat.
So, but I will tell you one thing. It's better to buy it at the merch booth because you know for sure the artist probably most likely 90% did sign it, right?
Sure, yeah.
Rather than buying it off of eBay or some other one secondhand from someone else where you never know if it's a real signature or not.
Can you imagine arguing that at the merch table? Like, he signed us. Where did he get this record? Like, can you
somebody brings out their DNA tester. Yeah, I'm gonna need a hair strand.
They were single records. Like I think there was a David Bowie Aladdin Sane, and maybe there was another one, and they were both signed by Morrissey on there, and they were $200.
I know this is a topic ago, but shout out to the homie, the Rev Rock and Rollin'. He says my wife's boyfriend wants me to hang my. Coming in clutch, Rev. Shout out to another homie, me, myself, and my vinyl Kevin. He said, wait, it is Wednesday night. Yeah, this is also a vinyl trick or treat. You decided at the end of the program. We did it because a couple of reasons. One, we got Halloween coming up, mañana, and this is a show for the children by children. Then also, I think Arnaldo has a concert tomorrow. So, I mean, it made a lot of sense. I know everyone loves having Monday night or Thursday night football on one TV and then our luscious faces on the other screen, a device of their choice. You'll just have to do it next time. So we're revolutionaries around here. Now, Jose, I think, is coming back. Jose's come back in and out a couple times. Jose.
I don't know what's happening. So
are you in a park? I'm hearing like a lot of noise. Are you in a park right now?
No.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. So you got the idea. Now, before we move on, I'm going to end this poll. All right. The poll is over. So autograph vinyl for sale at concert merch booths. Wonderful, wonderful. Participants said it's 60% trick, 40% treat. Interesting. I would not have thought that. Look at. All right, Jose, we're going to give you one more, give Rojas one more, and then our special guest will come up. We'll talk to him for a second. I'm going to give you a good one. Jose, this is going to be tough, and you may get some flack for this one. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. This is a tough one. Final Trick or Treat, Jose, anniversary edition re-releases. So this can encompass a lot of things. It can encompass a 40th anniversary, a 25th anniversary, or like Chapel Roan, a 1-year anniversary.
I did a 3-year anniversary once, so I really can't talk shit about that.
So why did you do? First of all, as a titan in the recording industry, why did you do a 3-year anniversary? Can you explain to the gallery, please?
Well, the record was originally released only digitally, and we noticed that the record was gonna be like the vinyl edition was gonna be ready for the anniversary of the when the record was released, the same day, basically. So we just said, oh, let's just say, like, we didn't say it, but it was like, like we released it the same day. But I don't know, like, if it's, I would say mostly, unless it's like first time on vinyl, or if it's like expanded version that I think it's gonna be interesting. I would say mostly it's gonna be a trick.
Mostly a trick. So if it's got some extras, it's got a little bit more meat on the bone than maybe
Or
originally.
the first time it's ever been released on the format.
So something
That happens.
we call this a USP. I'm teaching class here, unique selling proposition. Take notes, Bleach Boys. I'm trying to give you a come up here. USP, unique selling proposition. Rojas, before we give you your next question, what do you think about this topic about these anniversary? I know you ran out and got that 1-year anniversary Chapel Roan.
No, man, did not do that, bros. Like,
Sorry,
chill
fake news.
out.
Fake news. Rojas, tell us, what do you think about anniversary editions? Your take, sir.
Let me show this again.
Oh no, this is going back to the 25th anniversary of Stone Temple Pilots #4, and it's.
I feel fooled here. Rhino got me. They got me again. They got me. They got me.
That's the executive Rhino watching this in the bathroom. Shame. So, Arnaldo, wrap this one up. What do you think about anniversary editions? Trick or treat?
It's a trick.
Total trick. All right. Now, let's see what our friends
Wait,
in the
more records.
What's that? Yeah, way to sell more records.
Wait,
Yeah, it's gimmick. All right, I'm gonna end the poll. So those big 16 votes. Thank you, first of all, for participating. The poll now says end trick 59%, treat 41%. Look at that. So I think we're finding consensus. This is called consensus building. I do want to read Chuck T's comment because I think he speaks for so many. He says, I think they should re-release Kind of Blue. I think that's a wonderful idea. If you own a reissue label, and
Love Supreme would also be. Love Supreme.
This is what the people want. It's like the OJ's got to give the people what they want. Come on. Now, Kevin comes in. He says, I have the 30th anniversary of Dark Side of the Moon. That was worth it. I think I would agree with that. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful version. All right, Rojas, here we go. And then we got our special guest coming up. So Jason, this could be hang on, I'm gonna hit the music because we're gonna get really awesome with this. You ready? All right. Oh yeah, come on. We're gonna get shut down for copyright. Yes, sir. Copyright, come on. Bring it. All right. So vinyl trick or treat, Jason Rojas. In the news this week, or it might have been last week, it was an interesting thing that came up, and you may not even know this. So you may be hearing this for the first time, though I doubt it. Vinyl trick or treat, and it could have went with this reissue thing we're talking about. The Ozzy Osbourne "See You on the Other Side" box set that was limited edition is not so limited anymore. It's coming back out for $100 more. Jason, do you think this is a vinyl trick or a vinyl treat? I'm starting the poll, and you're getting it big. Here we go.
Okay, let me counter this. Have you seen the Zakk Wylde promotional video for Ozzy Osbourne?
Aces, yes. I think home run, out the park, Zakk Wylde, and do you call it a
Chef's
Breaking
kiss
Bad?
there.
Yes. Do you call it like the Breaking Bad homage? I mean, nailed it.
Because of that video alone, this is a treat. Like,
Wow, going treat. So is it such a treat? It's like a pastry. Do you think you may pick this up? Because for the folks not scoring at home, this came out 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it was billed as all of Ozzy's studio albums. The first time it came out, it was all on colored wax. No More Tears was expanded to 2 discs. Some albums had never been on vinyl before, like No More Rain or Hard Rain, whatever it is. Black Rain, sorry. Came out on vinyl. There were some posters. There was an autographed Ozzy COA. It's called Certificate of Authenticity. So it was actually, and they had a flexi disc, as Arnaldo likes to point out. They had a flexi disc, which everyone loves, and that was $500. And here we are, 5, 6, 7 years later, and they're doing it again, folks. Doing it again, and they're adding the 2 last Ozzy albums that I don't know a lot of people. Patient Number 9, I forget what the other one was, and it's interesting. So you're calling it a treat just because of the Zakk Wylde infomercial.
honestly, Concert Buddy, there would be no video of Zakk Wylde doing all that
Right.
promoting without another box set.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, before we get the other opinions on this topic, I'll even ask our guest. I think our guest would like this one. Michael Tedder, coming in clutch, says it's already sold out on Amazon and Ozzy's site. So I love hearing that, because the value of I got one of those first ones a couple years ago, and it was about $2,000 if I want to get rid of it. And then this announcement came out, and the cheapest one on Discogs now $1,300. So it's popped a hole into my balloon of if I need to like get off of something quick. So I'm happy to hear this sold out. Great news. Thank you, Vinyl Gods. So I'll call that a vinyl treat. Arnaldo, what do you think about this? And we've had some conversations about this. Where do you land on this one?
I think it's great that it's coming out again. I'm not a huge Ozzy fan, so I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, how big is this box? It's huge, right?
Yes, it's real and it's spectacular. Yes.
And it's probably fantastic, but can I justify it if I'm not a super fan of Ozzy? That's what it comes in. So I'm sure it's a treat. It's a treat because it's coming out again, and so many people wanted it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't call it a trick.
All right. I like where this is going now, Jose.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
I'm sorry, we just got hacked. I'm sorry, Jose. Where do you land on this one? Do you think this ginormous? What do you call it? Gazumbas?
Yes.
Think about giant gazumbas of a box set showing up at your door. And side note, before Jose answer, when I ordered mine back in the day, my box did arrive beat up.
No,
it had splits on the seams, right? Not seam splits, but just. And so, to their credit,
they took care of it.
Jeremy right away. So I want to shout out Sharon Osbourne.
You were like, Sharon,
fan for life, and that happened. So they took, because I was like, holy smokes, I just dropped, I think it was like $450, maybe $5 at the time, and this box is literally looked like. And here's the best part, you know what I did with that box I didn't need anymore? You ready? I sold that bitch. On eBay, and voila. So everyone was happy. Yeah.
With the splits and all, they bought it.
They bought it, and I was very forthcoming. So people can throw the popcorn and the tomatoes at me, but I was very forthcoming, and I think I sold it for like $100. See, look at this. Chuck T says, "I just want the box, nothing inside." I missed you. If you would have gone to my eBay account ago, I would have taken care of you. Wyoming Dave does ask a question, but did the records play good? I would have kept it if the records played good. Well, the records did play good. In fact, they even went back and that expanding No More Tears to 2 discs, they sold it in a couple different variations outside of the box later. There was actually a Tower Records. You know what Tower Records is? There was a Tower Records exclusive because they're over in Japan, the intellectual property, and there's actually a Tower Records store in Japan. So it was red and yellow split. I got one of them. It was like Hulk Hogan colors. It was amazing. So.
Now, you still have an exclusive because the first run was all colored splattered vinyl, right? This is all black.
That's correct. Yeah. So this is all black, but you get the 2 items. And I didn't even mention, I'm so sorry, this new one that's coming out, not 1, not 2, not 5, 10 new Ozzy posters.
How many were in the previous one?
Not that many. I don't. I'd have to go get it. But
Now you're tempting me.
Who the fuck has wall space for 10 fucking posters? More. That's
hang on. We got Felipe the Jazz Bums. He said, "I'll buy the box if it's housed in a bat's head and spilling fake blood." Don't give them any ideas because if Sharon is anything, she is a marketing maven, and she may take you up on that one. Oh, and Kendall Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Man. This is a great point. Also capitalizing on his recent Hall of Fame induction and the fact he's probably going to die soon. Oh no!
They already sell bat plushes.
Bat plush. Oh, you got a little battery, Jose. I better get you on before.
No.
So, Jose, wrap this one up. Vinyl trick or treat. How do you feel about this?
But you see this? Look at this beautiful little bat outfit. I think it's cool. It's just expensive. I think it's a treat. I think I'm more a Black Sabbath fan. I do like Ozzy, and I like what is it? Mama, I'm going home because
Mama, I'm coming home.
Mama, I'm coming home, man. Because I just remember the day that Santa. What is it? The Weird Al Yankovic parody.
Yeah, I don't know the name of that one, but I'm sure Weird Al did.
The day that Santa went crazy, some shit like that. So I remember that from Bad Hair Day.
You're catching me with my pants down on my Weird Al knowledge right now, Jose. Yeah. But yes, I'm sure you did. So you're calling it a treat, Jose. You're weighing in on treat. Is that
a little expensive? But I mean, if they had 10 fucking posters, right?
Expensive treat. Now, guys, I think this game is we're catching momentum because we've got a whopping. Are you ready for this? Hang on. You guys aren't going to believe how many people voted on this. This is
wow.
No, guys. I mean, this is impressive. I mean, this is I got to hit the 28 votes. 28 votes are calling this
more than double the first one.
Trick at 52%. 52%. So that's pretty close. 48% treat. So that's like you're splitting hairs. You're splitting gazumbas, Jose. Splitting gazumbas with that one. I mean,
by the way, I think the design of that Aussie box set, it's like the outer box set looks like shit, but the worst offender of all time for box sets, it's the cover for that Billy Joel box set that came out not that long ago.
Yeah, what a cash grab! It's garbage.
What it's absolutely horrible. It's like, how is that a Billy Joel box? I don't know. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's hot trash. Hot trash. All right. Well, we've literally killed this segment. I'm sure that we'll see if this one comes back. I was getting the hang. It was kind of a tester as a beta test, seeing how the polls work, trying to make it more interactive. Spins is really pushing me in my creative zenith. So it might have been a lame AF segment, but I hope you had fun with it. But maybe we'll bring it back. We'll see how it goes. Now, we have a special guest. I would say probably one of the hardest working people in the vinyl community at large. Welcome to the dais, Mark Anthony K, Projekt Gemineye. Hello, good evening. How are you, sir?
Greetings. How are you all doing today?
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us, Mark. Sorry to keep you backstage.
Around here.
We had to kill this. We had to kill this segment before it created babies. So appreciate
before we start, I have to say one thing right off the bat. Arnaldo, you're very high in my books now with your Bowie reference there. Me being a huge Bowie man myself, I respect us fellow Bowie people. So my hat's off to you, sir, for the Nathan Alder.
Thank you. And you'll see why later in the stream, one of the topics.
Very nice. I look forward to it.
We call that the deep tease because we're amateur broadcasters. So the deep tease. But not only is Mark here for this segment, and Mark, you can stay as long as you want, by the way. But Mark has got a new album. So if you don't know, Mark is a musician. The Projekt Gemineye band. I mean, it's pretty much you, right? Like it's
just me, pretty much.
Pretty much just him. If you've been part of the vinyl community in any way, shape, or form, I'm sure you've heard of Mark. I don't know if you've heard his music, but has a new album coming out. And Mark, I don't want to butcher the title because you're kind of share some of the music. So tell us a little bit about the new album, what it's called, and give us the rundown, and we're going to hit you.
So the new album is called Canada Stories and Legends. Basically, I wrote this album about Canada. I live in Canada, obviously, here. And basically, it's just kind of like my love letter to my country, mainly because of the fact that when I didn't know much about my own country. up until about the age of, let's say, 23, 24, when I started touring with some bands I joined. My first band, we did a tour of Canada a couple of times. And then, once I went across Canada a few times, I started, discovering how this country was and its pluses and its minuses and stuff like that. And I decided to put an album together based on those things, with different songs depicting different parts of the country. Like, for example, I have a song called Ghost Ship, which basically talks about a legend, like a story from the East Coast, where they claim to see a schooner ship that goes across the Northumberland Strait and catches fire at night, sinks, and then the next day it comes back perfectly fine, like nothing happened to it. So it's one of those legend stories, like that, old grandfathers would tell their kids that, back when I was out on the seas, I saw a ship, blah, blah. So it's kind of those like legend stories, right? So I thought that might be interesting to put in there. And plus I put a story also about the gold rush, the Klondike gold rush that happened in the late 1800s that went into the Yukon Territory. So that was also put to song as well. And then I didn't only want to, do one of these albums where it was just, making Canada look so great all the time. I had to put in something to kind of equal it out a bit too. So I put in a story about the Indigenous children that were taken from their, families and put into those correctional sort of schools, and they found those, unmarked graves. That was, of course, a big black eye for Canada. So I wanted to kind of, equal out, the whole thing about Canada as well, right? And there was also I put a story in there as well.
Real quick, Mark. What was the name of that song that you're talking about?
Oh, the Indigenous one is called The Lost Generation.
So that's the first track. Is the track order the one you sent me?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So the second song on the album was that was the Drive North. That's the one for the Klondike, and then the one after that is called This Promised Life, which was a more recent thing that happened here in Canada. As you know, Canada is one of those countries that seems to embrace immigration like constantly, like bringing in people. But Mr. Trudeau has stepped into a bit of dirt lately about the fact that he's bringing in tons of people and is running out of places to put these people until they get on their feet. Some of these people are ending up now on the streets because while they're being put into, let's say, church basements to live for a while until they figure something out, after a while they get pushed out, and now some of these people are living on the streets. So it's sort of another black eye that Canada has now in there. So I'm trying to make an album where I talk about the good and the bad, basically. And then, of course, the last one, sorry, Chance, the last one really quickly is Racing the Flames, which I'm sure you caught on, is the fact that it's about the forest fires that happened in Canada. And also there was some horrific fires in the United States as well, California and places like that as well. So it's based on the sort of escape of the forest fire and how it sometimes robs people of everything, their houses, like every last thing they own.
No, I was just going to say that was probably my favorite track when I listened to this. You're gracious enough to share this in advance. That was the one that stood out to me because I've listened to some of your stuff before. We've talked about, he's been on the podcast. I'm sure if you haven't listened, on Community Podcast, on a wonderful chat with Mark. But easy way to describe your music, if people don't know, is kind of like progressive rock, like in the style of like, Rush or some other influences that you've had.
Yeah.
And this is no different, right? Like it's definitely like exactly on brand. What I think we've talked about this in the podcast too, but bringing it up here, very prolific. I mean, how many albums would you say on average? Like you're very creative, and you're putting out, it's 2 to 3 ballpark. Is that a year? I mean, safe to say at this point. Yeah,
like usually I'll do 2 Projekt Gemineye albums a year. That's CD and vinyl, right? And I'll also I have another band that I do with my friend Joe Bailey, who lives in the UK, under the moniker The Dark Monarchy, and we do an album a year as well with that. So I usually do at least 3 releases a year, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. But I'm one of these people that come here in my little studio every day and write. Whether a song becomes a song that appears on an album or not, that is, we see down the line. But I always write something, put something together, work on music constantly, and I have a big file of songs now. So I have another 2 completed records already ready to go beyond this one.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so I already have like album 10 and 11 pretty much done, right? So thank you, Cesar, for that comment. I really appreciate it. Or Caesar, sorry.
You got some good feedback from the gallery. This is what I like to see because, again, I think the violent community, we were talking about Louis' album. I think last week on the Spin Show, your album coming up. Like, I think this is one of the things that the community should do is embrace people who have the talent, who have the dedication, and who actually put out good music. I mean, I'm sure there's some bad music out there too, but I ain't talking to those fools. I'm just
yeah, Louis' album is fantastic. I had to give him props too. I mean, when I heard it on Bandcamp, I immediately ordered it, and he contacted me after, and of course he also bought a Projekt Gemineye album too. I mean, that's the sort of support that I think is fantastic to see within the community itself, right? So, but I mean, Louis' record is really great. It's power pop punk kind of stuff, and it's, if you like that type of music, then it'll be right up your alley. So I definitely give that a nod.
Yeah, no, you raise a good point. I just dropped, for people watching, or if you're watching this back, and I'll have it in the show notes on when this goes to podcast on Friday. Bandcamp. That's where, like, you pretty much self-release a lot of the stuff. You just talk about Louis doing it yourself. When can the masses expect this new album to hit Bandcamp?
I'm very grateful that you asked that, my friend Chance, because as of 12 midnight, as we click over to Halloween officially, that is when the pre-order begins, or the ordering starts for the CD and digital release of Canada Stories and Legends. Of course, what I normally do, for those people who don't know or who haven't ordered from me before, I usually put out a digital and CD first. A couple of weeks later, I'll start the vinyl pre-order later on, just so people. But I know, because some people told me before, like, they'd love to order both, but sometimes the wallet's a little thin at the time to order both. So I, like to spread it out a bit and give them a chance to, get it a little bit later on, right? Plus, you just have to wait for the vinyl. It's still 3 months here at least to get vinyl said and done here. And the CDs only take like 2.5 weeks, I think, here at Train Records, where I go to get my stuff done. So it's pretty quick turnarounds for CDs. So
awesome. And then when you do the pre-order for vinyl, you always do 300, or do you kind of base it off of like how many pre-orders you have, or how do you kind of gauge how many to put in production?
I've only ever done 100 copies of my vinyl, limited to 100, and I've really enjoyed doing it that way, because it makes it very, very limited, obviously, and people, they some people like the like the hunt to go after, like, right away. They want to get in there and grab it, and they go really quickly. So, and it's crazy. I've seen already on Discogs, like, some of my records going for less than like $80-$90 because they're only 100 copies, right? So it's crazy how much they go up in price. But that's one thing, though, I did want to address really quickly is great sound effect there. That I saw a couple of videos lately about people saying how the price of vinyl has gone astronomically up in price. And I have to agree. Some of the vinyl, even here in Canada, like a single record is getting up to over $40 here, which is ridiculous for vinyl. And I've always said, and I'll continue to say that here, I've never increased my prices on anything. My CDs have always been $12 to $13 Canadian. Right. So if you're a US person, that's like $8 or something like that, right? And vinyl, it's always been $30 Canadian. So again, convert that to US, it's pretty great price if you're a US or UK or European purchaser, right? So, and I feel that it's worth it. I'm not in here to make millions of dollars. I'm happy that people are buying my music and listening to it, and I think that that'll continue doing it. I always at least break even, if not get a little bit more out of it. Of course, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to put myself in the negative either, right? But hang
on. It's that saying, the greatest nation in the world is donation. That's not how you're trying to operate.
No. I mean, listen, if I had millions of dollars, sure, maybe I'd put it even cheaper. But I want to make it affordable for people. I believe me, when somebody gives me $30 of their own money, I don't take that for granted, right?
No, that's great. That's great. Actually, we've got someone from the afterlife, Mark. They want to help you with the branding strategy. I believe his name is Billy Mays.
1995.
So can we get anything? Maybe 1995 is the price point for the new album. Mark, how do you respond to that? Is that
fake news? Yes, this is fake news.
Right.
1995 is not in my wheelhouse at this point.
That's fine. Well, so we do have some folks on the dais who are musicians. I want to open it up because I know Jose, obviously, with Aurora Central Records. I'm the vice president of logistics, customer satisfaction, and janitorial sciences. Jose, obviously, you know kind of how this works in terms of making music. You make your own music. You obviously put out a lot of bands. Have you listened to any of Mark's stuff before? What do you think? And any questions for Mark?
Yeah, I have. Well, I guess do you retail in Canada? Are you also like selling to stores over there, or you try to keep it on Bandcamp?
Well, I
Because
mainly
I just want to say that Bandcamp, it's a great tool. People take it more serious, especially if you're like up and coming musician. If you're a already established musician, people take the same seriousness to you selling music because it's a safe place to buy it. Nobody gets scammed, blah blah blah.
yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with Jose 100% that that's one of the main reasons why people would go through Bandcamp, because of that security that they feel because of that, right? And Jose is very correct about that. As far as your question about the retailing, there's a few stores here around my area in Toronto that I can go to that have expressed, openness to me bringing records, and I can bring them there and sell them. There's been one or two places that have contacted me more recently. One in the United States, and there was one in the UK that said that they would be willing to take my records over there. But that's still something I have to work out with them, like how much it would be, and the exchange and blah 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 blah, right, for that. But here in Canada, I do it obviously within my city limits around here, and it's worked fine. I've actually put records, let's say like 10 copies in there, and I'll get a call a couple of weeks later saying that they've sold them. So it in stores, brick and mortar still works, especially if you get people who are always looking for new music, or a specific kind of music, because the store that I go to, he does everything, obviously, like most record stores do, but he doesn't have that much like hard rock prog stuff or metal prog stuff. So that kind of stuff, when I bring it, it kind of stands out a little bit in his rack when he puts it out. So,
and then obviously Jason Rojas, a musician in his own right. I know everyone is familiar with the band Psychedelic Horseshit. In fact, an album in the can. It's safe to say, Jason, I know you did some recording. Is there more work to do? And do you have any questions for Mark, also a musician?
Oh, he's muted. You're
muted, buddy.
Oh, the silence in you. The fix is in.
Mark, so congratulations, Mark.
Thank you, sir.
Are you going to be performing any of this live or any of that?
I've been asked that, quite frankly, a lot since I've been putting out records. I mean, I'm record 9 now, and I've been asked that since record 3, believe it or not. The problem is that most people that I know that are musicians here, and are like people that I know, are in that sort of family wheelhouse where they have kids and they have a mortgage and stuff like that. So to bring them out to do stuff is a little difficult right now, or it will be for the foreseeable future. But some of the people that I do know, like you guys know David Donnelly and people like that, they are musicians that work and do music for a living. So I've had a few chats with people like that, where I might construct a band maybe next year or the year after that. We're kind of making a long-term plan where I might be able to do a band where I might even start off doing stuff in the UK, because a lot of my people that I know that can do it, like Joe Bailey, my friend, and Dave, and these guys, they all live there. It would be probably easier for me, a single person, to just fly over there, construct the band there, and start playing from there and move around, because I do this full time, right? So for me, I can go whenever, and so can people like David and Joe and stuff like that. So that's sort of the plan. So I haven't done it yet, but I toured for a long time before. I was in bands like Pile Driver. I don't know if you remember that band.
Shit!
Jason.
It's funny you said that. One of my locals just got a Pile Driver album. Oh my god! I didn't even bother to look and see if you're on it. Oh man!
The Exalted. Well, the early records I wasn't on, but there was a new record that we did in the 2000s called a Metal Manifesto. And that was the one that I was on, and I did all the guitar playing on that. But the classic records like Metal Inquisition and Stay Ugly, that one that was done with Gord and another guy back in the 80s. But those are classic records. But we toured Europe and United States and Canada when I was in that band. It was crazy. I mean, going every night on stage with a mask on and stage blood and all this stuff. It was unbelievable. Every night having to put that on.
Well, that's a great segue, because masks and stage blood is Arnaldo's favorite. In fact, he's as Mark knows, big Kiss fan. Arnaldo also big Kiss fan.
Yes.
Arnaldo, do you have any questions for our special guest Mark, and to talk about this release, or just talk about Kiss? This is the time. You got a Kiss question, Mark will know.
Well, first of all, congrats on the record, on record number 9. I am kind of like appalled at myself for not knowing this, because I have seen you on many streams. I believe now that Chance just mentioned it, you were on Patrick's stream when he was selecting the best, a few. I think he did one on the best Kiss albums, for sure, the best Kiss solo albums.
Yeah.
I remember you were part of the panel and I was participating. So yes, I had no idea, and unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to take a look or listen actually to the link that Chance dropped in the email. But now tomorrow I will go and take a listen. I'm looking forward to it. So
Great.
nice.
I appreciate that.
Kind of like like say in person, but on the same stream together. So
yeah, great. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, Mark, I think that we had you on one of those Kiss podcasts, I think, didn't we? That they're doing the final tour because
right,
you're on
the same one.
Mark is on a podcast about Kiss. Kiss Cast, I think, isn't it?
It's called the Kiss FAQ podcast, and we're up to like 500 episodes now on that.
Yeah, our little drop in the bucket of 3 was nothing. I mean, that's like Mark does that before lunch on the podcast.
Well, I mean, I do a couple of podcasts. I do the Kiss FAQ podcast, and then the complete total end of the spectrum, I do a Yes music podcast as well for the band Yes, right? So, and that one also, we've celebrated coming up to we passed our 10th anniversary on that show, 10 years of doing that podcast. So, and it's been very, very, very good. I mean, we've interviewed every member of the band that was almost in it. Like, I think almost everybody who's been in Yes, we've talked to. John Anderson, Steve Howe. The only person we didn't get a chance to, unfortunately, before he passed away was Chris Squire. But we got to talk to Alan White and, Jeff Downs, and it's great. I mean, we definitely have a great time on that podcast. So, music is my life, just like it is for you guys, obviously, as well. I know Arnaldo is there you go. That worked out well. Yeah, Arnaldo, I know you've been on a few different streams. I think you do a couple of those ones with Westman, don't you? I think I saw you on.
Yeah, I was at the beginning. Yeah, it's been a while since I haven't been on Westman.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arnaldo's named himself with our show, and so
I have an exclusive contract with Surface Noise that prohibits me
don't
hearing
say that.
other streams.
And I know also, for example, that Jason does also some live streams where he spins records. I've seen a couple of those and watched those, and actually there's been some fantastic records that I've heard on your stream. So thank you, Jason, for spinning some fantastic tunes there. I really do appreciate, that's a great place also, I have to say, to pick up on new music that you may not be familiar with, especially myself as well, right? I mean, Jason has a vast collection of music, and it's, very, very cool to sit down one night, put up the speakers loud, and listen to some music that he's spinning. He has a good turntable, and it sounds great. So,
hey, me next. Give me some praise, Mark. Come on.
Well, Chance, obviously, come on, buddy. I mean, Chance has been one of these guys, one of the first people that also, started supporting my stuff online here. So I have to give him props too. I mean, he's a great guy. He knows what he's talking about, and getting me online to do those Kiss stuff was brilliant because, like he said, I mean, I have a pretty vast knowledge of Kiss stuff, so it definitely helped out and made that a very fun episode to do, I must say.
That was a lot of fun because you had a noob like me who literally went to his first Kiss concert, of course, of the year. They're winding it down because my timing is impeccable. But once multiple people, Vance, several people are like, hey, caught the first episode, like, you got to talk to Mark. And I knew Mark, like Arnaldo said, like I saw him on some live streams. I knew he was a musician. I didn't really know like a ton. And then obviously he was gracious enough to be on our podcast. Blew my mind because like Felipe said, like Mark is the authority. Like Mark knows Kiss 101. And actually, ever since I saw my show and kind of learned more about the band and been collecting a little bit more of their music, been learning. It was kind of like I wouldn't say the jumping on point, but Mark was very helpful, and it really kind of inspired me to kind of check them out a little bit more. They're a lot more than Paul, yeah, all that kind of riff like that. That wasn't like the nonsense.
Exactly. Can I just say one thing really quickly here before you move on to your next segment? But being that it's Halloween here, I mean, there's one artist that I'm really big on.
Mark, here we go. Don't drop the ball. Let's go.
Okay, there's one artist I'm really big on when it comes to Halloween, and I'm curious about you guys about what you feel about this artist, and that's Mr. Frank Zappa. He does a lot of Halloween type releases, and you have Halloween 77, you got like Halloween 1981, Frank Zappa, right? And you also have, this one is my personal favorite, to be honest, and that's Halloween 1973. This is the highlight show. This is when he had Napoleon Murphy Brock and George Duke on keyboards and Chester Thompson on drums. I've really dug these ones. This one here for me also is a great one because it's a very complete show. It's like three discs, like live at the Palladium in New York City, right? So and he's always big on Halloween, always has been big on Halloween. So I'm curious if you guys are any fans of Zappa's music, or you were aware of these classic Halloween shows. I'm just curious.
I was not. I'm just a beginner when it comes to Frank Zappa, and I was not aware of the fact that he had yearly. Were they yearly shows at Halloween?
Yeah, yearly shows. Yeah.
I wasn't aware. Yeah, thanks for telling me.
Now, if our friend other Jason spins vinyl, I know if he's in the gallery still, if he hasn't abandoned us for baseball like a lot of people are doing. I think the score is 5-5. By the way, this
nice.
ESPN sports sticker. No, but I know Spins Vinyl is a Zappa guy. I just sent him a Zappa record the other day. So and Jim, Record Collector News, which again, unconscious cheap plug, great publication available at fine independent stores everywhere. I know Jim is a monster. He even did a Zappa video today, as a matter of fact. So Rojas, what about you and Zappa? Where do you land on that?
Zappa, he's very interesting, right? 77, so that would have been what? A little bit like Zootlers or
yeah, it would have been around that area, yeah, because he played a lot of that stuff off of that on here as well, right? So
okay.
Yeah, so you're right. I think that's the right area.
And then of course Jose is a monster. And I mean, monster Frank Zappa fan. I mean, I think it did. Wasn't that in the delivery room they were saying Jose or Francisco? Those were the two choices in honor of Frank Zappa, but they chose Jose for some reason. I don't know.
I'm a big Zappa fan.
Yeah, are you a big fan? Yeah. What's your favorite era of Zappa? What would you say like the stuff you like best?
Well, that's interesting because, for example, I think the early stuff, I think it's great. Mother's Invention is sort of like my favorite stuff. We're only in it for the money. I think it's absolutely great. But I actually really enjoy his classical music pieces, So with all right, nice.
Lumpy money is what Mark.
That's a double thing. Whereas one of it is lumpy gravy, and the other one is we're only in it for the money. It was like a double release, right?
Yeah, I know lumpy gravy. Yeah.
I think that the Live at the Roxy, is better than Live in New York.
Yeah,
that's for me.
It is.
So
I like everything.
It's hard to go wrong with Uncle Meat. He says it's better than Zappa in New York.
Meat,
what do you think about Uncle Meat? Great name.
Uncle Meat is a great album. I mean, I know that people like Jose said that he likes that era of Zappa. And the one thing, though, that I will say, though, that if you're new to Zappa and you want to get into his music, kind of get in easy and kind of make your way through his catalog, don't start with Uncle Meat. It's very challenging, some of the music in there. Maybe start with like Apostrophe or Overnight Sensation, stuff like that, and then work your way.
It's a great first record. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great album. It's more easier to consume. It's like 4-minute songs. There's some humor involved in it too, so it's easier to kind of digest. Where some of the stuff that's in the early stuff you were talking about, like 25-minute songs, King Kong Part 1 and stuff like that, where it's really, you have to really sit down and focus on it, and sometimes it goes over people's heads, right?
Yeah. I also think Leather is pretty great.
What about Apostrophe? So that was what Jim talked about in his video, Jim Kaplan. Apostrophe. He said, I remember in the video. So, Jim, I do watch the videos. I know you're watching Surface Noise right now, and if you're not, you're going to watch it tomorrow. And then again, I know he's a repeat watcher. He said Apostrophe is a good starting point for us. What would you say about that?
Don't Eat That Yellow Snow.
Absolutely. That's one of the records that I definitely say should be an entry point. That one and Overnight Sensation, because they both have that element of comedy. Like Jose just said, Don't Eat That Yellow Snow is one of the songs that's on there. Stinkfoot is another classic song from that era. Cosmic Debris, all these kind of songs that are, have a good element of humor in the lyrics that keep you interested, and some fantastic guitar playing and drumming. I mean, sometimes people forget the people that were in his bands: Terry Bozzio, Eddie Jobson, Steve Vai was playing guitar for him for a while as well.
Yeah.
Adrian Belew was in there, like all kinds of people that he brought up,
I will say that the interesting thing with Zappa is that he didn't wait a year to release a record. So for example, 79 is probably my favorite because Joe's Garage and Shake Your Booties in '79.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm not even going to try on this one. Tim, University Vinyl says, don't sleep on Chic Your Booty.
Shake Your Booty.
It's Shake Your Booty. That's how we kind of wrote it, right?
Shake Your Booty.
Yeah. That's a great record. You know,
That's
absolutely
hilarious.
fantastic.
Which I love because some people now say it's blackface on Joe's Garage, but he said, I'm already brown and this shit is grease. So I always thought it was
yeah, he wasn't always politically correct, Mr. Zappa, but you know, it was all. No. It was. I think most of it came from a humorous point, though. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I don't think he meant it insultingly. You know.
Sure.
But yeah, he has the late '80s. I think it's overlooked a little bit because I really like it.
Wasn't there a song he did with his daughter, like Valley Girl or something?
Valley Girl, yeah.
Yeah. That's a classic. I have that on 12-inch single. It's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah.
And we won't talk about Dweezil Zappa. We don't talk about Dweezil Zappa on Surface Noise.
Well, Dweezil Zappa's first record is absolute garbage. I bought it because I'm a Zappa.
Just the first record, Jose. Just the first record.
No, well, he has some other stuff that I wouldn't say that, but his guitar playing is really good. But it's the singing that is sort of like a little iffy.
Can I say one thing
sure.
with Dweezil Zappa? And I'm going off of a good friend of mine who is a huge Frank Zappa fan, and when I wanted to buy records by Zappa, I was like, what should I start for? So I'd go to him and I'd ask about, well, what do you think about these reissues? And he's like, what they're doing with his estate is exceptional. So the reissues, you don't need to hunt down the originals. The reissues are really well done. And I think that is credit also to his son, correct?
Yeah. Ahmed, yeah.
And they all state
not Dweezil, another son who's in charge of
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Okay.
Ahmed.
Okay. I'm sorry. I assumed it was Dweezil Zappa.
Yeah, well, definitely, I have to agree that those reissues are absolutely top shelf, like fantastically done. I mean, Zappa even said it himself before he passed away that some of these pressings that were done before were just not good. Like some of the channels were reversed by accident. They took some of the wrong cuts of the songs, used the wrong master tapes or some stuff. So it was a complete mishmash. But once they got in Joe Travers in, who's the vault master for Zappa, he went through everything with a fine-tooth comb, found all kinds of stuff, put stuff back together that was all mixed up and all over the place. And these reissues are absolutely brilliant. They sound great. They look great. They're all in very sturdy, jackets and stuff like that. And especially the CDs too. Sorry, go ahead, Jose.
Almost all of them are analog, and when they are not, they state where they got everything. And for example, we're only in it for the money. There are some reissues that are analog and some that are digital.
Yeah, because they put at the back there, it'll say 1630 digital master. This one was taken from, or it'll say this is a complete analog cut from the 74 or 75 tapes or something. They always put that on the back of the album.
And Jefferson's saying also the reissues include the original quadraphonic mixes. So that's
there's some great ones like that too. Yeah.
Son of Shut Up and Play Your Guitar.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah. I'm impressed, Jose. I didn't realize you had such a vast knowledge of Zappa. I'm very impressed.
Jose knows two things really well: cuss words and music. And so,
if it's funny lyrics and great music like Zappa or Ween or some shit like that, I'm definitely gonna be there.
He's in like Flynn, right?
Wait till he starts flexing his muscles on Rodney Dangerfield. And
we don't know.
That's where you'll be amazed.
That's a sight to see.
Rodney.
This is a great week. Last week was really rough.
Nice.
Well, Mark, it was a real treat to have you on. I'm glad you reached out to me, and I'm glad I did. Again, thank you for sharing the album in advance. Again, for folks, I dropped the Bandcamp link. It comes out again, literally
12 midnight tonight.
I mean, and again, I didn't know this in advance, so I don't know if Mark's pulling a special favor for Surface Noise. I'm sure he is, because I'm sure that he had a launch date in his mind. He's like, I'm doing this right. I'm doing it on Surface Noise, but it's great if you like progressive rock. Again, in the style of like Rush, that's what I always like. A noob like me always kind of leans into. Like Mark is very gifted, and like I said, very prolific. He's always putting out new stuff. Check him out on Bandcamp. Drop the link. I have the link in the show notes. Mark, you're welcome to stay around if you want to stay on for some more segments. We're going to do some other stuff, or you're welcome to drop off. But I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I'll stay on a little bit more. I mean, listen, when you have a chance to come on with Chance on this channel here, I mean, you got to stick around a bit. You know what I mean? So
Mark, that is wonderful.
You don't get these chance, and you were right though. I thought to myself, I'm coming on Chance's show. What better thing would be than to put the album out at midnight? I mean, when you're on Chance's show, and with these other guys who like Jose and Jason and
and Nathan Adler.
Yes, and Nathan Adler. Then of course you got to make sure that you make it worth the while, right? So.
No, that's awesome. No, that's good stuff. Well, let's wind this down for the lead pod, because I do put the freestyle on the feed later. But I want to thank my guest again, Mark. He's going to stick around for the next segment. Our pleasure having Mark on. Not Nathan Adler. You know him as Arnaldo.
Yes. The
channel is Fidelius_frequency. Arnaldo, thanks for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me, Chance.
Jason Rojas, having a week himself. Jason, thanks for coming on, sir.
Thanks for having me, concert buddy.
And avoid the Stone Temple or reissue, or you'll live to regret it. And then the biggest Mets/Red Sox/baseball card collector on this dais right now, Jose Moreno Ron. Jose, Good to see you.
The Yankees are gonna eat crap. All right.
Oh no. Well, again, the score is 5-5. We're in the sixth inning as we're filming this. This will come out much later. So if you're hearing this on the podcast on Friday when it normally drops, you'll already know who won. So sorry to bore you with details, but thanks for joining us. Seacrest out. All right. Freestyle. It's like Ricola. Freestyle. But we do have, actually, Mark, you kind of, it's very topical about the Zappa stuff, because we're going to do a segment here in the freestyle called the Mount Rushmore of Halloweenish albums. It's kind of like a leftover segment. So maybe Zappa stuff will qualify. We'll include you in this one. But I got to change the artwork. I would be really remiss if I didn't. And literally, it's just one big difference. And it says the word freestyle on the banner. Anyway, all right. So, do you guys want to do the Mount Rushmore? You ready? Do we want to do this? Do we want to insult the masses? Because sometimes people don't like the term Mount Rushmore. Teach their own. But it's the best way that I can think about saying like something historic, something like top, right? And so, just using this very generally, not using it. Don't want to get into political nonsense, but it's obviously Halloween coming up. You're probably going to laugh at the ones I chose, but who wants to go first? We're going to show some records or CDs or whatever and talk about what we consider, because what do we have to, I don't even say we vote on this, but like just personal, and then maybe we can hear how the gallery wants to shape this, because we may be missing stuff. We may miss some stuff.
I'll go first if you don't mind. Because I might have to drop off in a little bit, but I'd love to get my comments in on this. Obviously, I showed the Zappa stuff already, right? Yep. So I already mentioned those ones, like these Halloween ones are definitely classic. And just like Tublandia has mentioned, there are also big box sets versions of this that come with Halloween masks and everything that you can buy that are like multiple CDs and have like a whole mask you can wear, and even has like a little USB stick with other additional music on it as well. So that's always kind of a thing to mention. But for me personally, and I don't have the record here, so I apologize, I'm not showing anything physically here, but I'm wondering if you guys are aware of this, but one of the bands that I think of, and I think of them as, sort of this Mount Rushmore of Halloween music, are a band called Typo Negative. These guys,
okay.
Yeah, they are to me the king of goth doom sort of Halloween music. I mean, they have two records that immediately come to mind, which is like October Rust, which has Halloween based music on that one, and even Bloody Kisses, which are two great records by Typo Negative that to me immediately think of Halloween, and that to me is what I would suggest as a Mount Rushmore selection for me.
Awesome. All right. Who wants to go next? Because, I mean, this can get really, the heat may come on. Arnaldo, do you want to go first or next on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well,
Yeah.
no hesitation. No hesitation.
No.
No.
I didn't look at it as there's one Halloween album that I picked because it was recorded that way. It's actually it's very current. And it is the Duran Duran Danse Macabre box set. It also exists non-box set version.
Okay.
And it came out last year. It's being reissued this year again in a bigger format with a whole bunch of other tarot cards. There's like a seance board and all that stuff. And it's mostly a lot of it's some reinterpretations in a darker tone of older record hits of theirs, but a lot of covers. And most recently, some people may not like it. This year they added to their cover of ELO's Evil Woman. Not too spooky in my opinion. That specific cover, it's almost like a disco version, a synth disco version. But the overall theme of the record is a darker kind of Halloween, like a soundtrack to a Halloween party. I guess you can put it on because you'll hear various, songs that you're familiar with, but in a different, interpreted differently.
Yeah.
So should I give you the other two that I picked?
Let's maybe go around. Let's pass the ball because I know Jose is chomping a bit. Rojas, I'll go to you next on this one. What is your nominee? We're going to go around here.
So released in 1976, Michael Fremer's Halloween.
Oh no, no. Michael Fremer.
I will say that if I see that motherfucker in my house at 3 a.m., I would get.
I think that's what Vincent Price used for Thriller, is he listened to the Michael Fremer record ahead of time and was so hopped up with humor and laughing that he couldn't help himself. So
wow,
they don't tell you that on the True Hollywood Story.
That's gonna give me nightmares tonight.
All right, Jose, can you save the segment? I think the Michael Fremer record Jason, do you have another one, or should we go around?
You can go to Jose. That's fine.
All right, Jose.
By the way, I want to show a DVD first.
You show a DVD. Oh, Frank's
nice. Very good.
So this is The Torture Never Stops, and they're all wearing like Flintstones and a bunch of Halloween stuff. So there's a bunch of Halloween shows. This one is pretty good. This is 1981, and I don't know. I always watch it, so that's why I have it here, because I always watch it on Halloween. But let me show you some records that I have.
All right. Well, show us one. This is your first one, and then we'll go around and dump them all out.
So this is Jerry Goldsmith's score for The Omen, the first movie.
Yeah, Damien, what's up?
Which, by the way, if I have to name two of the movies that scared me when I watched them, one is The Omen, the other one is The Exorcist.
All right. Well, Jerry Goldsmith has
very prolific score guy. Like he's been in so many top movies.
Yeah, so I would just say that this is a great movie to watch. I don't get spooked. I watched it as a young kid, and I don't know. I just liked it. It's like, hey, look, it's an evil kid, and that's it. But, it's just like a fucked up.
I think that's how Gene Siskel referred to it when he was doing his review for the Chicago Times. I think it was. Hey, there's an evil kid in this.
Hey, look, it's an evil kid. Yeah, but I think it's really great. I would Suicide. All right, this will be my first pick, and also the movie as well. All
right, I like it. That's a good one. I did not see that. I did not see it coming. All right. So now you guys are gonna laugh. Oh yeah, man! Shoot, Kevin, that's actually interesting. So Kevin, me, myself, and my vinyl, Pet Cemetery, messed me up for weeks. That's actually, I think I have that soundtrack down. All right.
Ramones.
The Ramones, no.
No, Pet Cemetery.
I thought about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but this was just an opportunity to flex on the hype sticker.
Wait, is it the first? I always messed it up. Is that the first one?
I mean, this is really the only one. The second one, when they die, is kind of a goof, and then the one they just made was just a catch. But I mean, guys, I'm really surprised because if there was more of a layup in this category, you have to. I mean, this is iconic. This is John Carpenter's Halloween. The synth. I mean, this is the one that all other, let's call it 80s horror movies tried to emulate in terms of just creating an atmosphere of terror. You know, obviously, again, first movie, Michael Myers was the villain, but he was really referred to in the credits as the Shape. Does anyone remember this? It wasn't Michael Myers in the credits; it was the Shape. But yeah, I mean, this is not an easy one to find.
Nice.
So this is a must have. And you're talking. I mean, it's in the name, Halloween. And how can you not grab this? And obviously, he's had a very prolific career in terms of doing like scores, kind of like Jerry Goldsmith in the sense, like if you think about the Roddy Piper movie, They Live.
Oh yeah.
Thing, right? I mean, he's touched a lot of movies that I don't recognize. So.
Anyway, that was his name.
Beautiful. All right, so there's my first candidate thrown into the fray. So, who would like to go next?
Well, I can mention something if you don't mind, real quick.
Good, Mark. Yeah, let's do it.
So, like I said, because I wasn't sure I was going to be doing this, I didn't bring anything here to show. But one thing that I do want to mention, though, is around this time of Halloween, people in the KISS circles, I'm sure Mr. Nathan Alder there will know as well, that being a KISS fan, that one of the things that's always mentioned in the KISS community circles is the fact that the Lynn special there, the what's his name, Paul Lynn special is a big thing amongst KISS people at this time of year. That was a time when KISS put out Destroyer. They had just put it out, and they had like a couple of performances live on the Paul Lynn special at that time, where they did Beth, they did Detroit Rock City on there, and it's always been one of those classic moments because they even did like a really bad sketch or two with Paul Lynn on that as well. And that special has circulated amongst us KISS fans in DVD form one way or another for dozens of years. So because of that, KISS Destroyer has always been labeled as sort of a Halloween connected record because of that thing with Paul Lynn. So that
and
be
Mark,
seen.
to add to that is my first memory of seeing KISS on TV.
Oh, nice. So that's like your
I remember seeing that special when I was a little kid, and I can't remember. I think I already had a Destroyer album, and I was floored that they were on the show because it's not like today. I mean, there was no MTV. There was nothing. The only music you actually saw on TV probably was that Midnight Special.
Yeah, Midnight Special.
That was like way too late.
Hang on, Solid Gold. Give me a break.
Solid Gold and American Bandstand. Those were the only.
Soul Train. I mean, come on, we're really leaving out some big ones here.
But other than that, I mean, where were you going to see KISS? They weren't out during any of those shows. So that was the only time I got to see KISS. And then I can't show it now, but chance you'll see it. I have a print that is kind of like it's like an interpretation by a Palm Springs artist called Shag. And it's a scene from them appearing on the Paul Lynn show. And I have that framed, that print. And Mark, let's add Phantom of the Park.
KISS meets the Phantom of the Park.
I was not living in the country at the time. I had moved to Italy with my family, but it aired on Halloween, if I'm not mistaken, right? 1978.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Probably worst movie in history, but
it's funny because
only on VHS. Only on VHS.
No, it's available now on the KISS DVD that collects all the
Kissologies. Yeah, you can get it on Kissology Volume 2. And the funny thing is that one that's on there has revamped the soundtrack because the original NBC version of it had really bad, like that really bad 70s porno music. It was having the background.
I'm not familiar. Can you play some on a guitar for us, please?
that sort of wah-wah guitar music that you always hear when they have a chase scene or they're running around. They always have that kind of staple music there. But they changed it now all into KISS solo album music. So they would put like, you know, Mr. Make Believe and stuff like that in between, stuff like that. But it is a Halloween classic, that movie as well. So I'm grateful that Arnaldo brought that one up as well, because it's a classic.
And in the gallery, they're mentioning, Kiss appeared also on Don Kirshner's.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
but it was too late for me to watch. So for me, it was the Paul Lynde show, the Halloween special. That was the only time.
Yeah, and they did do Midnight Special as well. Sorry, go ahead.
No, they did.
No, you're good.
Yeah, they did Midnight Special as well. They did a rousing version of Deuce, and they did a version of Black Diamond where Peter Criss completely destroyed his drum kit at the end of the song, like completely annihilated it.
Wow, and I'm assuming cocaine was definitely not involved.
With those guys, yeah, you never, you know.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, who would like to go next? Great one.
I'll go next. Let's unveil the mystery of Nathan Adler.
Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Now listen. This is what we call the big reveal. Again, this is a big segment, so we want to make sure.
Why are you doing the big reveal?
All right, Arnaldo, why are you have the name Nathan Adler as your tag?
It's not a Halloween album, but it is a scary album to listen to. And David Bowie himself said that he didn't listen to that album very often because he found it himself very scary. And I'm talking about Outside by David Bowie. Came out in, I think, 95.
Yeah,
95?
around 95 yeah.
95, yeah. And I remember I had just moved here to New York City, and I had night classes, and he had an in-store to promote this at HMV, and I could not go. I was like,
oh, bummer.
I know.
Arnaldo, I gotta ask you something really quickly though. You are aware that one that you're holding there is the excerpts from it,
I
right?
know, and I paid pretty penny for this one.
Because I have the actual one.
We've got a vinyl flex. I love it. Vinyl flex.
I actually have the main one, and that came out of white vinyl. That was a Vinyl Me version, like a music on vinyl. Sorry,
music
that was
on
it.
vinyl. I have that as well, but this one is the first version that came out.
Yeah,
and it was the era of CDs, and they didn't want to do a double because it was a very long CD.
Yeah.
So they opted to do excerpts, and they removed, because there's a lot of interludes as well in this album. So they removed quite a few of the interludes to try and fit it all into one album. So yes, I also have, of course, the double vinyl that came out and subsequently that I think is currently in print. So it's the full length of the album that as it was conceived as a.
It came out in the box set,
So this is it's a concept album, loosely concept album based on the Nathan Adler Diaries, which is the story that he concocted to tell kind of like a crime story where Nathan Adler is the detective and he's trying to solve an art crime where there is someone who is at the beginning of this story is found mutilated, and apparently, I think, if I'm not mistaken, correct me, Mark, it was almost the killing happened also in the form of an art piece. And that's why they were called the art crimes. So Nathan Adler is the detective of the story. So
nicely done.
I like it.
So scary album, not necessarily Halloween.
All right, Jason Rojas. We're getting some reports of people jumping out of their windows.
Released in 1976. I can't find my Susie and the Banshees record, so we'll just show one of the worst record covers for Halloween.
No!
So,
he has way worse covers.
Elton John, 1975.
He has way worse covers.
Look at that
Kiss
hair.
the ring, baby, kiss it.
Oh
Kiss
man!
It.
Wow.
Those British teeth.
Jason, I'm glad you brought up Susie and the Banshees because I don't have it, but she currently has, I think it came out last year. It's called All Souls. It's a fantastic Susie and the Banshees compilation album, all themed around like, the Day of All Souls and Halloween and all that.
But this came out in 1975, so next year will be the 50th anniversary. Kiss the ring, please. Rock of the Westies.
Wow.
Woo.
Unbelievable. So that I did not have Elton John record on my Halloween bingo card, but I like it nonetheless. Jose, we need you. We need you to come in clutch. We're calling the bullpen. Roger
All right,
Clemens.
since we have a Canadian on the show, I'm going to show.
Oh, whoa, hang on, whoa! We're not trying to make this an international incident, Jose. Please be careful.
Well, I'm already outside the U.S., so it's always.
Safe.
But one of my favorite all-time, my favorite director in general, and the guy that I've seen his movies more and more throughout my life, and I don't get bored because he has scary shit, gory shit, horrible body horror stuff, and their dramas, and nice stuff. And this was issued originally, but the score was sort of like experts or something like that, and they what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago they released it for the first time, the full score, and that's Videodrome. I don't know Howard Shore did the thing, but it's a David Cronenberg movie. I don't know if anybody here knows it, but he's my favorite director. I just love his movies. I think they are weird and they are really crazy, and I'm just glad that they Debbie Harry's is in the movie.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen it?
Never seen it. No, I've never seen it. What year did it come out, Jose?
83.
83.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. David Cronenberg. That's Debbie Harry. She acts in the movie. She's also really good in it. But it's a weird movie. This is the first time they did like the actual score, which is a bunch of like noises and stuff, which is really beautiful and creepy. All right.
Very nice.
Bringing it, Jose. All right, now, hang on, Jose. I think we might have melted the ice. Peter says Videodrome is fire. Oh my gosh, you guys agree on something? I cannot. I mean, this is like historic. We are literally. I mean,
yes. He'll remember that I like Gigi Allen and hate me.
Wonderful.
Can I show another one?
Hang on. We'll do one more time around, and then we'll kill the segment. All right. Hang on. I guess it's my goofy ask. All right. So there's so many to choose from, right? And I don't want to be lazy and say that I just pick horror movies, but I just pick horror movies.
Well, it is Halloween. You can do that.
It is Halloween, right? So now
Nice.
we're going to talk about Charles Bernstein. It's interesting is like this art for Nightmare on Elm Street is so like iconic. The art alone, it's a stop you, right? But if you can find this in stores, good luck, right? They've reissued, I think, it was either Death Waltz or Mondo, like they've taken a couple scenes of this. But again, carrying on the legacy. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I had like like pink,
like a sweater. It's the sweater.
Oh, the sweater one. Okay. But yeah, I mean, carrying on the legacy, John Carpenter started with Halloween. There's so much imitation and kind of emulation, if you will. But like, talk about this is thinking of those movies in the 80s, like amplifying the fear before the looming kill, or before obviously the iconic death in this movie was Johnny Depp getting swallowed by his bed and then spit out, and there's like blood everywhere. I don't know if you guys remember that, but anyway, this is one that's like, for me, obviously, and these are just also, I would call it Mount Rushmore Halloween movies, to be honest with you. This one took me a long time. This is a Wes Craven movie, obviously, if you don't know. But this is, I would say, probably one of the 10 hardest records for me to track down, because the prices are just like silly. I've seen it in the wild once or twice. Amoeba, of all places, had it on their website once. And I could not convert fast enough. So Nightmare on Elm Street. And and I always mispronounce this. It's on the Reese's Saturday Bande label.
So this is an OG?
Oh yeah, this is OG,
yeah,
Daddy.
Okay.
This is we're not starting up Scooby Snacks in that reissue game. This is how we're going right here.
Johnny Depp was eaten by his bed. Was Amber Heard there? Just wondering. Asking for
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the tape, because she may have pooped on it before the bed swallowed them.
You mean the mega pint?
Yeah.
Mega.
All right, I got that one. All right, How about we go one more time around the track? Mark, do you have another one to contribute or something to contribute? Or?
Actually, I was gonna just say I'm gonna have to take off though. I have to get
Oh,
off.
for crying out loud, Mark!
I'm sorry, guys. I do have to get going, but
all good.
before I go, I just wanted to say again, thank you for having me on, Chance. I really do appreciate it. Arnaldo, it was great talking with you about Bowie and other things. You know, Jason as well. Thank you for hanging out and chatting, and hopefully you'll have some more great live streams coming up. And Jose, my friend, again, talking about the Zappa, you did me good, brother. I appreciate it.
All right. Mark, right. I got the perfect sound. A walk. What they call this walk-off music.
Take care.
All right, Mark. See ya. All right. Well, Jose, you can go again. I mean, just by the power of the live stream gods, you are next in this one.
Well, all right. Well, I have I brought a lot because I have a lot of horror.
Hang on, you're telling me that you have a lot of records to show, Jose. I find this hard to reconcile, but
I'll show this.
Yeah, let's go, Psycho.
Yeah, this Psycho 2. Right?
Yes. Yeah, and is it? What do we call that when they take that gold thing and then they stamp it on the cover? What's that called, Jose?
Gold stamp? I don't know. This is a
gold stamp promo. We have a gold stamp promo. Excellent.
Yes. So I'm a huge fan of the second Psycho movie. I think it's better than the first one.
Jose, you're just wrong on that, but that's okay. It's a good.
No. Look, think about it. It's like the first one. It's good. It gets to a point. They kill the protagonist. Spoiler alert, right?
Oh my God! There's people who haven't seen this movie by now.
but then, it just goes nowhere, and then there's a plot twist at the end, and you're like, "Oh, all right, thanks," and the movie ends. But this, you know, he's out of the mental institution / jail, and the real question is he insane? Was like what happened? And they try to make him go mad once again, and it's a really good movie. I think it's even Quentin Tarantino thinks this is better than the first one. So I don't know. It's just I like this one, and The Exorcist 3 are my favorite sequels in the horror genre. And
so Jose, I'm going to test you. Let's talk Psycho 2 for a second. First of all, I got to get this out of the way. Psycho, the original, is iconic because, I mean, Hitchcock, first of all, even though he turned out to be kind of a creeper, iconic. The shower scene, iconic. I mean, just everything about it was like cutting edge. I mean, dare I say the birth of horror movies was really, at least in the mainstream, was Psycho.
Carnival of Souls. Well, yes.
Okay, but in terms of like, you know, like if somebody says horror movie originals, yes. All right. So I got to get that out of the way. Now talking about Psycho 2, I agree with you. I think it's a very good movie. I do think it was kind of a plot twist about the mother-daughter committing the murders to try to make him go mad because it was the sister.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie, like you're all to hell at this point. But my question to you, Jose, is because this is the part that I never really understood. At the very end, after like they foiled the plot, blah, 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 the lady from the diner comes up and sits with Norman to have some tea, and she reveals that she was really his birth mother.
Yes.
I never understood if that was accurate or if she was also crazy, or because they don't really like ever clear up if like that was factual.
It doesn't really matter, but he does kill her. So
well, he does kill her, and then he stuffs her, and then that's the mother in the window for the next couple of movies. But yeah, I didn't understand it, so it doesn't really matter. It matters to me, damn it.
I guess I like it a lot. Somebody mentioned Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason. I wish they would have done more of these like mashups like that, because they had talked about taking like Ash from Evil Dead, all these kind of like counter universe thing. Would have been a lot of fun.
Well, didn't they make the comic with Ash? They did a comic with him. But anyway, but I just think that imagine how hard it is that they tell you, hey, you have to do a sequel to one of the most revered movies ever,
Well,
And
first of all, 1982, right? So that's
Yeah.
you've got Universal on the Universal lot. I think was still the original Psycho House. Check.
No, it was. I think it was turned down, but it has slight differences. But yes, Bates
82?
Motel. That one is. I think it's just actually the same one.
82.
Yes, but no, 83. It's 83.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, well.
But anyway, but I just think, like, for example, he loved it so much that he directed a third one.
Tony Perkins, yes, Tony Perkins directed the third. Yeah, that's how they got him to stick around. Yeah,
and I actually think that the TV show, Bates Motel, was good.
I didn't touch
to a point.
I didn't touch it. It's like Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. You just don't do it. Friends don't let friends like bastardize.
No, it was nice. It was but I just think that the four movies deserve watching. The third one, it's a little kooky, but it's
even
really
the fourth
fun.
one, which was a cash grab, was not terrible. It was a lot of
it's a TV movie.
Yeah, it's a TV movie.
It's a prequel, and it's like with the mother and all that. He's like talking on the phone with somebody giving an interview.
He called one of those late night radio shows and was like. Yes. Norman had like a quiet life,
it's like the Sleepless in Seattle, but like
a perverted like serial killer. Yeah.
But I just think it's a great watch. And again, Exorcist 3, you can skip the second one, but I think as far as horror sequels go, I have the book, I have the soundtrack, I have the movie, but I think it's Exorcist 3 is a really good movie. There's not a single scene of anybody getting actually murdered, which is weird. No, that doesn't happen. What? It's pretty great. It's
yeah. Come on. If I'm going to a horror movie, I want to see some death.
And by the way, talking about Kiss. Oh, this is fuck. No, I fucked that way.
Jose, did you just fart? What was that sound?
No, there's it's Saint Judas' birthday, and they are. Anyways, this is the soundtrack for Halloween, but for the Rob Zombie Halloween.
Yes.
And it has Kiss. It has God of Thunder in it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think that's what they had at the beginning of the movie. I think because Michael Myers in that movie dressed up as one of the Kiss demons.
But this is an actually good soundtrack to play on Halloween. It has Don't Fear the Reaper, right? Love Hurts.
Sure.
I don't know why, but it has Baby I Love Your Way live version.
Ooh.
Sawyer. What else it has? God of Thunder, Iggy Pop's. It says Iggy Pop, but it's actually the Stooges, 1969. Only Women Bleed, Alice Cooper. Misfits doing Halloween 2. And Tyrell Bates' score that he did. So Mr. Sandman as well. So I think it's a good soundtrack for Halloween.
All right, I like it. All right, Jason Rojas. Do we have anything?
1975.
Oh my God, Elton John record.
Just kidding. We'll just go with 1982.
There you go. There you go. Now we're talking.
When you're hanging out with the tiger in the tank,
Uh-oh. Yes, look at that. I mean, how sedated did that tiger cut have to be on Michael Jackson's leg like that?
It was sedated. Is that what you were saying?
It would have to be sedated. I mean, I don't know.
It's a cub. It's a cub.
Yeah, he doesn't know to like eat flesh.
You never seen the live action of Lion King. That's.
I would have learned. Yeah, Jason. Chris is here. He says Rojas with pop sensibility once again. Now the question I'm going to ask you: the record collector collection, because being not a genuine record collector, yeah, of course, production credits. That's a first. Thank you. And if you don't know, a first does not have the co-produced by Michael Jackson line on the back cover. And I will say, I told Arnaldo this, I think today, matter of fact, I did finally end up grabbing the MoFi One Step, and the OG smokes. I mean, it's not even close. It's like major and minor leagues is really the story of it. Bernie knocked that one out of the park. So disappointing. But Thriller, good call. You redeemed yourself. The lion cub or the tiger cub, and he must weigh.
What's wrong with this?
It would be better if we could see the unibrow, because I think Elton was known for his unibrow at the time. So yeah. Oh, he shaved it. Oh, sell out. What a sellout, Elton.
I mean,
Yeah,
the best part
worse-
is
that's
Bernie
worse
Taupin.
album.
Bernie Taupin, this band
Oh
is
my
going
god!
gold.
You know, that's one thing I'm glad is not back, is just walking around with jeans and an open shirt like that. I mean, good God, like what a disaster! Who came? I mean, I know there's a lot of drugs involved back then, but I mean, that's like a McConaughey. That's a McConaughey. Look at this guy. I mean, that's Bernie. That's Bernie with the leather chap pants, right? Bernie
Yes.
Taupin. Okay.
They all look like they were selling weed off.
Well,
Like,
and then the Leonard Skinner reject to his left, also open shirt. I mean, buddy, come on.
Well, wasn't it Robert Plant who started that trend?
Well, you give grace to rock royalty, but that Leonard Skinner wannabe guy there, like, what are you doing? Like, there's only room on one cover for one partially shirtless man, and it's not you. So please get out of here.
I'm gonna say this again. Like, I like Elton John, but can you imagine like someone's like, "Hey, did you get the new Elton John record?" And they're like showing this. And
I don't even know a song that's on that record. I
What
think
the-
not only is the ugliest Elton John record cover,
That hat,
it's
that's
probably the worst Elton John record, period.
no, that's both of those statements are incredibly wrong. I mean,
Is that one of those albums you make just
That's
to get
not
into
a
your
bad
comfort zone?
album. That's not a bad Elton John album.
no, I'm saying like he has way worse shit like that than that.
Oh,
No,
fair
I
enough,
don't
fair
think
enough.
so. I do not think that it goes.
I mean,
pretty well.
what's the name of that record that he's like bold, like with his head looking down? That shit is horrible. That's like the worst thing that ever happened to England.
I'm told that's cocaine grin.
Leather jackets. The cover of that is like you could die for. Like you could, like literally die if you.
So what Jason's not telling you here, he's holding this up because we're going to break some news here. That is the next Mobile Fidelity one step. Any record that you can find in your local $3 to $5 bin or cheaper is a candidate to be
Science.
It's just science. You're right, Ron Burgundy. It is just science. Beautiful. All right. Well, hey, we're making things happen right here.
The Fox is also horrible, by the way. The Fox is also horrible.
Fair enough. Arnold, you got another one?
But at least it's got a good cover. The cover of the Fox is actually good. So,
What, 21 at 33? That's a horrible looking.
I mean, it's stylish, somewhat, but that's a bad cover.
No, but leather jackets. Come on, leather jackets is
I'm just saying. Not only I don't know that album, but I think it's not one of his best albums. Probably one of his worst, but for sure, it's the worst album cover.
So Arnaldo, I see you have a skeleton.
Yes,
wasted away the segment. Wasted away.
This is the Halloween decor. Can I finish up with one album?
Absolutely, that's why I'm coming back. Let's do it.
Not a Halloween album, but just like the David Bowie album, I think this is the scariest album that I own.
Can I guess what it is?
You know exactly what it is.
All right.
And when I want to taunt Walter before going to bed, I will pull up the song on my iPhone and I will play it. I'm talking about Scott Walker's Tilt. If you have never listened to this record, just be warned. It is a beautiful record. I love it, but listen to it in small doses, like once a year. And yes, this is a freaky, scary album. Beautiful, but scary. I mean, look at the album cover. Even the album cover is kind of freaky.
I mean, I can't even make out. Is that like leather pants?
No, there's eyes on it. It's the eye. I think it's a horse. Looks like a horse's eyes. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like a crow. It's like a crow.
Oh, it's a crow?
Yeah, it has a beak.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a montage. It's like edited differently. There's two eyes there. So
yeah, it's like double exposure.
Yeah. So yeah, scary record, but awesome record.
So we got to follow up. What makes it beautiful and haunting?
The sounds, the singing. I didn't say haunting. I said scary. Haunting can be also very beautiful, but it's scary and it's just very dark. The singing, the instrumentation, the arrangements, the strings, they make it all very, scary. And I wanted to add a couple more things, which I do not have.
Oh
But-
no, these are honorable mentions. Is this?
Honorable mentions, soundtracks from the 70s to Dario Argento movies, especially Suspiria. Those are great Halloween albums. Music from Goblin, also great
Oh.
Halloween music. And yeah, and the Susie and the Banshees compilation, which came out last year, called All Souls.
Jason couldn't deliver. He couldn't deliver the Sushi and the Banshees. Like just.
I thought it was here. I thought it was
It's
here.
been a long week, Jason. I'll cut you some slack, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, and someone earlier mentioned Bauhaus. I think any Bauhaus record is great for Halloween.
Fair enough. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this. Oh, Jose, yes.
No, most records on that label, it's pretty scary.
All right, I'm gonna put a bow on this topic. I'm just gonna.
Hey, I want to show one more. Can I show one more after you?
Of course.
He's
brought up
gonna
fucking
show
record.
Rodney Dangerfield record. Watch it.
Yeah, if it's a Rodney Dangerfield record, I'm gonna cut you from the feed. All right. Come on, The Shining soundtrack. This is the original one. This is the one that was released, and then they had to pull it back because they didn't get permissions. So very orchestral. If you think about like the opening scene where he's driving up the mountain going to the Overlook Hotel, loosely based on the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. Shout out to Steve Carlson. I know him and I just talked about this. The place is haunted. I've stayed there I stayed there once, been there a couple times. One time I may or may not have been under the influence of something, and I swear I saw a ghost, so I'm not even tripping. But anyway, hard to get this one, especially in this condition. So as a score, come on, Stephen King, Children of the Corn. Damn kids are running around killing people. Like especially like there's the theme song where like they have the all female choir. It's scary as shit. You got Malachi and Isaac and these kids just beautiful. They even reissued it a couple years ago.
The sequels are horrible.
The sequels are terrible, but they gave Malachi his flowers because he was really the star of that movie. And then, well, actually, another fun one, Phantasm. This is a really fun one, especially because like you had that metal ball going through the skulls and stuff. The music again, talking about I don't know, did this predate? So this is right. So Halloween comes out 78 with Carpenter. This is 79. So very, again, kind of continuing that kind of Carpenter emulation. And then I always like these movies. I think is it Death Waltz? Or no, it's Waxwork. Tackled these Creep Show 1 and 2. I thought this was a great reissue thing. They made them look like comic books. I have the original downstairs. I just didn't grab it. But anyway, any of those I think would be ample nominees. If I had to choose one, I'd say The Shining, just because like it's too legit to quit. So,
what did you guys think about I don't want to call it sequel to The Shining. What was it called? Dr. Dream.
It's terrific.
Yeah, I loved it.
Dr. Sleep,
really loved
it. Yeah, it was great. It was great. Yeah,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was well done. All right, Jose. There you go, Peter. I like it. We're gonna talk. We're gonna close with the WFMU chatter. Cesar has reminded me he asked about this, so we're going to talk about it. But Dr. Sleep. Oh, there's another one. See, Jason's coming.
See, if you see these people in Halloween, just watch out. They're just gonna bring the Coke bag, get out of here. You know, take your hairspray, forget it.
Wow.
You know?
That's a Vidal Sassoon gone wrong, is what that is. All right, Jose, bring it home strong, and then we'll talk WFMU real quick.
All right. So everybody show like 80s and 70s. So let me show something. I wouldn't say it's more recent. When is this shit from? I don't know. 2000 something. I don't remember.
2000 something.
This is The Antichrist by Lars von Trier. And I absolutely love this movie. I think it's haunting and creepy and body mutilation. But I think it's a great movie, and the soundtrack is really great. It gives you like a lot of stuff to think about. And on the back of the record, it's only one-sided record, and then the other, the etching says, "Nature is Satan's church." So I think it's a great record to play at Halloween, and it's not expensive, but I'll always suggest people getting it because when it's not in print, you can't really find it. And then the last one I want to show, it's
Now, our viewers, did you notice Jose said he had one more and then he added water like gremlins, and that's two more. He multiplied.
yeah,
it.
probably. Well, but this will be the last one, just so I can put something more popular. All right, so this is The Fly.
The Fly, Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. Yeah,
Howard Shore, and again David Cronenberg, and Howard Shore. He used in every single film except like one or two. He was not the composer, but famously after Howard Shore did what is it, The Lord of the Rings. So he did a bunch of great stuff, but I'm just really happy every time I see something Cronenberg related.
hey, can you turn that around again? There's shirtless Jeff Goldblum. We need to show that to the masses right there. Look at that. Who says you need to work out to be a leading man in Hollywood? Jeff Goldblum and The Fly.
Wait, is that Rambo?
No, that's
looks
ham,
like Rambo.
Hambo, as in give me a ham sandwich.
Yes. Unfortunately, there's no picture of Bundlefly, so that's shitty.
Oh, come on.
But there you go. All right, that's it.
All right,
I did have more, but I'm not gonna show it.
Jose, you gotta save it for next year. If we're still around kicking.
Sure. If I'm still around, all right.
You're still around, yeah. If you haven't been gobbled up by the vinyl community boogeyman. All right. So Cesar brings up one thing. I wasn't sure we're going to talk about it, but this weekend, he says, "How about talking a little about WFMU expectations, plans, records you might be hoping to find? How about their Nirvana Bleach for 3,000 buckaroos?" Yeah, I saw that. I shared it with our little show chat because that's a big fish. And actually, that vendor, I follow him on Instagram. I met him in Austin, I think 2 Austin shows ago that I went to. And he always has like legit. He had a Nirvana, Nevermind First Press for like 400 at the time was a good price. But yeah, so Arnaldo, obviously I'm coming up. This is I'll be on your home turf. What would you say to a newbie? What to expect? Is this one where I need to bring ample kashish, or will there be folks taking the plastic? Like what would you give me the rundown?
Well, last year there were some pretty pricey pieces. I can tell you that I saw the turquoise Led Zeppelin.
I'm not familiar with that album. Is that is it like
So the same guy, he had it listed for 3,000. I saw him 3 or 4 weeks ago at the Astoria show, so almost a year later he still has it for 3,000. So yeah, you'll see a lot of big fish, but I mean last year I had some good buys. I had some good buys that weren't too expensive. Yeah, and then there's a lot of overpriced stuff, just like your $3,000 Nirvana.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure Jason has better insight because he's been to Austin, which you've been to, Chance, right?
Correct.
And WFMU.
Jose.
Jason can give a better comparison between.
Yeah. Give me the scouting report, Mr. Rojas.
Because I've never been to Austin, so.
Wait, you've never been to Austin, like in the city?
I've never been to Austin, the city, nor the record fair.
All right.
Well, there's always next year.
I know.
Think about that.
But you did got records from Austin, so.
I did, yes, thanks to you, Jose.
I remember now.
Yeah.
Jose,
That was a thing, man.
Yeah, that was something.
You even haggled him for me. Thank you.
I did. And I left I think Jason and everybody in a state of wait, so that was great.
Yeah.
All right.
So Jason, how would you handicap this one compared to other shows?
WFMU is going to be great. You're going to see a lot of records, and of course a lot of expensive records, right? You're also going to get some deals too, and I think some of these people may have the price high, but you'll be able to like haggle and some wiggle room and whatnot. I think the last year WFMU, I'd never really seen Beck Midnight Vultures, and it was there.
Mm.
And I was making a joke like, "Oh, that's fun, Beck. Where's depressed Beck?" And then they showed me Sea Changes, and you know, I think they took a picture of me like holding both, like, which one are you going to go for? And then, but they were charging a lot of money for Midnight Vultures. Like that was not a cheap record. But he was trying to give me a good deal on it, and I was like, "No, I'm not buying that record. I will not." The other cool thing is Billy will be there. My friends from Billy's Record Salon. My friend Travis from Human Head will be there. I think he's taking a whole row. A couple of guys from the OBC will be there, which will be cool.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, isn't Tomas going to be there?
Who?
Tomas?
Oh, Mr. Busk, you mean?
Oh,
Yes.
Tomas. Yeah.
You said the name right. What is
the main event of the OBC? Come on, the main event.
You mean King of the Record?
Yeah.
It's like asking, what is this shit? It's like the second in command. What is this?
So,
No,
Jason,
he's the king. He's the king. Like,
He's the record king. I mean,
he makes me
everybody-
look bad. Like he makes me look very embarrassed. Like I show a cool record, but then he shows something cooler. And I'm like, man, I better not play games anymore. Like this is
No, he's in
Well, he always shows like grails that I want, but he shows like, oh yeah, it's the first press, right? I'm like,
yes.
yeah, you bet your ass it is, yeah.
Jason, did Travis tell you if he's bringing the better stuff to the show?
No.
I think so. Maybe.
I don't know if we need to also bring Chance over to Human Head, the store, if he's going to have a good selection of stuff at the fair. He told me he's taking an entire row, so he's got a space.
I will say that even though I'm not going to WFMU, I've been to the WFMU. Last time was 2019. But I will say that there's a lot of stores that do not participate in WFMUs. And one of those, for example, it's Air God Records that I keep mentioning but they're really good with me. But it's a great store. Have you been there? Were you heckled or something? Yeah, you were. I know you were.
Oh, is this that one store with the famous? Yeah, okay, that one. Oh, I remember that story. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The $2 record.
All right. You'll tell me later on. But there's a lot of great stores that are not going to be at the show. So my suggestion would be visit other stores, I guess. Visit Facebook Market as well.
Well, I just wanted to say there are a few people. I know Frank,
JBL,
Ed Vinyl.
Well, Frank's
in the
ill.
gallery here today.
Frank's ill.
And I don't know who else is in New York. So hit either Chance or myself up on Instagram.
Oh yeah, Peter.
If you want to meet up,
Peter.
We met up with Peter last year. So if you want to meet up with us, let us know.
You can tell us in person how much you hate Jose.
Please ask him why he hates me.
And we'll definitely be on the celebrity, what do you call it? When you're looking out for people, watch list?
People watching?
People watching, yes.
Okay.
Rumored to appear is Michael Fremer, of course.
Oh my God! Oh no! I better bring my autograph book. Do you think it'd be weird if I brought my autograph book?
He's a real big dude.
That's right. He's a real big dude. That's right.
Last year, who knows? I don't know if Mike Ingrooves is coming, but
my God,
Lance Permanent Records came last year.
Yeah, I've seen Lance a couple times. He's old news. He's old. Bring me the big meat. Framer, Ingroove, Esposito.
I don't know if he's coming actually.
Slim Posito. You know, he's working on that new life look. He stole my look. He bicked his whole head. I'm like, come on, man, give me some credit. But no, it should be a good time, Cesar. I'm looking forward to it. Peter says I'm not interested in talking about Jose. I am there.
Well, you know.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, actually.
If they have a toilet, you'll be there, man.
Yeah, Chris. Do you want to be on our little thread I've got going on? Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. I forgot that. Just let me know in the comments if you want me to add you to this thing. So we're gonna go to supper, I think, or dinner late Saturday night. I think is kind of the move. We're trying to. But we'll probably do some like record crawls and stuff like that, record store crawls. So yes, sir. All right. Yeah, I'll throw you on there. I remember you mentioned that. Yeah. Prof is right. Slim Esposito. That's the new rapper. Slim Esposito. Oh, we just tied the game. The good guys, the Dodgers, are
Nice.
6-6. Oh, is that against Luke Weaver, ex-Cardinal Luke Weaver? There are so many ex-Cardinals in the playoffs. It really chaps my ass because the Cardinals are a disaster right now. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting Arnaldo in the flesh, meeting Walter in the flesh. I heard so much about from Arnaldo. Meeting some of these other VC gangsters. I think there's going to be 2 of the 3 jazz bombs. I'm going to bring my autograph book just to get autographs. Jefferson was on here earlier. I think he may bring me a T-shirt. Gonna bring me a T-shirt. I think that was pretty nice.
Can you take a photo with the naked guy at the Elmo at the Times Square, please?
What? Oh, you talking about the singing cowboy? Is that no? I'm not interested in that. The tidy whitey guy? No.
Yes.
No, thank you.
It's like $5 a photo, so
hard pass. Yeah,
And if the guy selling the fake Rodney Dangerfield show tickets try to sell you something, buy it.
Well, Dangerfield's closed a long time ago, right? Like that's not an active place anymore.
I don't know if it's still around.
Yeah. I don't
it's definitely not. It's definitely.
Hey, Jose, can you address this? This is how rumors get started. BK wants to know. Jose wants a naked picture of Michael Fremer. Is this accurate, Jose?
I mean, if it was signed, yeah, I guess.
It was signed. Well,
so no modern one, but like early 70s with the Bush and just autograph, the black and white photo.
Chance, do you have that record? Do you have the Fremer record?
I don't. I only got wind of it at Austin. Jose apparently found the copy in Austin, and I think the esteemed Norman Maslow and Baraka P-Dub grabbed it immediately, and then they took it over to the VMG guys, Slab guys, VMG, who spoiler alert, I'll be on their podcast coming up in a couple weeks. They finally come around to.
Wait, did you slap something?
Can they slap something? I mean, I can talk.
No, did you slap something?
No, I didn't slap anything. No, the rub. So just to talk about that for a second. I like those guys. I like dealing with those guys. Like they're great on the podcast. I have no skin in the game when it comes to slabbing, so I'm not going to say anything one way or the other. But Spins Vinyl, our friend Jason, he just sent a record to him, and he was actually on their podcast too. That's how I know about this. He did a video about it too. He sent the Appetite for Destruction, the band cover to him. I believe it was sealed, and from original, like from what he showed, you would think it would have been like top, right? Like sealed, like shrink looked pretty good, and he got like a 7. So it's interesting conversation because they kind of walk him through the grading. There was apparently some creasing under it, blah blah blah. So it would be the worst thing if I had a record that I was like, man, this is the one to get slabbed, and I think it's fantastic, and I sent it to them and they give me like a 5, or you know what I mean? Like there's a lot that goes into it. So I don't want to. I don't go into casinos anyway, so I don't want to like gamble with that kind of stuff. But
casinos.
Oh no, we've got bad news. I need the ESPN sound. Arnaldo, I'm sorry to say this. Game is not tied anymore. Mookie the Cookie Bets just put them ahead. So,
they just ate shit.
Yeah, sorry.
I will say that. Just so Arnaldo doesn't feel bad, the Dodgers used to be from Brooklyn.
I know.
Yeah, what? What are you talking about, Jose?
It was the Dodgers were originally a Brooklyn.
I used to have a Brooklyn.
Crazy shit. You didn't know it? Of course you did.
Come on, man. I'm Mr. Sports. I mean, come on. That's the thing I don't talk about. I know all that stuff.
That's like the second thing everybody tells you about the Dodgers.
Stuff. Anyway, all right. Well, we've beat this conversation in this live stream to a pulp. I want to thank everybody who has stuck it out with us. Again, if you're part of the WFMU folks who are coming out, like hit me up on Instagram. Like I said, we've got like a little thread going that people I already know. Brian, thank you. Have fun in New York. Brian, thank you. I'll try to. Arnaldo has already demonstrated an exemplary attitude to be a great host, which I'm sure he'll be. And Mazzy said he was a great host when he went last year. So I'm hoping I find like Mazzy probably carved something in one of the beams, kind of like Shawshank Redemption. Brooks was here. I'm hoping to see Mazzy was here in this.
I had.
Mazzy loves you. You missed it.
There is no. Yeah, there's no.
There's nothing. I said Mazzy was here. Oh, what? Oh, come on.
Did he left stickers though, or a pin? He did.
No,
He didn't leave any merch. Oh
no. Yeah. Nope. But
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Sean, have a good night.
Looks like the weather's going to be good. So
excellent. Well, it's gonna be a good one. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Surface Noise next week. Oh, look at this. Jason's coming in with the Iron Maiden record to close the show. Look at that.
Right. So happy Halloween, everybody, from Surface Noise and Mr. Eddie here. So rest in peace, Paul Diano. Like, great. You know, my favorite song, the title cut, Iron Maiden, the best. And Charlotte the Harlot. Why not? B-side was better. Hate to say it, you know.
Way to finish strong. That's what we call a kick in running. That's a strong kick, Jason. I like it. All right.
And like final note, did you know that Iron Maiden used to open for Kiss?
Oh, it always comes back to Kiss. Oh,
Iron Maiden opened for the Unmasked tour. I believe it was Unmasked tour.
Unmasked.
Delightful. All right, boys. Appreciate it. Again, Surface Noise back next week. B-side, Spins Vinyl.
Bye, guys.
You'll probably see some of his faces, and we'll talk to you next time.